So here is your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Sacai Vaporwaffle in the Sail and Fuchsia light bone colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another comparison video, and this one I'm pretty excited for, and it's one I've been waiting to do for quite a while, and it's the latest Nike Sacai Vaporwaffle, and it's in the Sail Sport Fuchsia, or however you say it, colorway, which is otherwise known as the grey colorway of the latest model. And we have a retail and a fake pair that have come in the mail. A paid resale. It's actually from StockX. So we'll just do a comparison and try and break down some of the flaws between the two pairs. So firstly, we have to take a look at the box itself. And the first thing to note, and I don't know if you're going to see it on the camera, is the retail box is a slightly darker orange than that of the fake one. And another thing to note, which I'm not sure is going to show up, but if you look at the Nike logo, which is on the top, it is actually thicker on the fake box comparing that to the retail one, but you could only really tell this if you had both boxes in hand. Just if you were looking at the box singularly, you wouldn't be able to tell any difference at all. Taking a look at the side and the actual, well, symbol of the Ike, I don't know why I'm going to call it that, on the side, you can see that the placement is slightly different. On the retail box, you can see that the eye is actually touching the corner of the box, whereas on the fake one, there is a tiny gap between the eye and the edge of the box. These are both the same size, so you expect the differences to be very minimal indeed. So in terms of the label, and I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see that the labels are pretty much identical. The text is actually bigger on the retail box comparing that to the fake, but other than that, the details are very minor indeed. Obviously, you can see the retail sticker from the store is on the retail box as well. But that's pretty much it for the box, so we'll now just open them up and take a look at the shoes themselves. So we'll open the retail box first. So open it up. Comes with the Nike Sacai paper on the top. Obviously it comes double paper in the retail box. We'll see what the replica one has. Open up the replica. It comes double papered once again. So here is your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Sacai Vaporwaffle in the Sail and Fuchsia light bone colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? So if we take out the retail pair and put it on the box, and take out the fake one and put it on the box, the first thing to note is on the retail one, it comes with the spare black laces in the box. On the fake one, it doesn't look like they've included it in the box, or even in the shoe. So they seem to be missing a spare set of black laces. So I'll move the boxes to the side and take a look at the shoes. So here is the real and the fake pair. And from first glance, they aren't too bad, but there are a few flaws to look out for. So I will now just break them down for you. So if I give you a close-up of the toe box and we take a look at the suede going around the toe, you can see on the retail one that the suede is slightly longer than that of the fake one. However, with wear, this will be pretty hard to tell, but straight out of the box, dead stock condition, you can clearly see that there are differences between the suede. Turning the shoe to the side, and I'll give you a close-up of this as well, you can see that there is two swooshes, and the one that is kind of painted on, you can see on the retail one, it covers a little bit more of the sole than the fake one does, so there is slight placement issues between the retail and the fake pair. And in terms of the actual swoosh shape, you can see that there are differences here once again. They seem to have got the leather color spot on. However, as you can see at the edge of the swoosh, the thickness and actual shape of the swoosh is very different from retail to fake pair. The underlying mesh material which they've got beneath the swoosh, there's actually no difference between here. The replica pair has got this completely spot on, which is kind of worrying to see, as this is quite an early batch of the shoe, so I was expecting there to be a few more mistakes. If we take a look at the two labels on the tongue, and I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see there are differences here. On the retail one, if you take a look at the black label, you can see a clear difference in color just above the Nike symbol on the label itself. Whereas if you look at the replica one, you can see the color differences just isn't there. As well as the actual text, you can see slight differences between the font and placement of the text. In terms of the red one, there isn't really much difference here at all. They seem to have worked on this one very well. However, the red is slightly darker on the retail one, comparing that to the fake. One noticeable flaw that I have noticed actually occurs on the inside swoosh, and I'll have to give you a real close-up for this one. As you can see, about halfway up the swoosh, there's stitching that goes directly across it. However, on the retail pair, you can see that the stitching is split up into 2 and maybe 2.5 stitches, whereas if you look at the one, there's clearly way more, and there's actually 4 stitches going across the swoosh. This is a clear difference that can be seen in hand. In terms of the actual quality of the shoe and stitching wise, they've done a really good job of this. One difference that is noted is the actual underlying swoosh, which is painted on much darker and thicker on the fake pair, comparing that to the retail one. The retail one, I'm actually disappointed with the quality of that swoosh, and I think it will wear down really easily with time. But on the fake one, they've used a much thicker paint, which actually makes me believe it will stay on longer. So I'm actually quite impressed with the fake one for this. However, in contrast to this, if you spin the shoe around to the back and take a look at the Nike Sacai logos on both, you can see that the quality on the retail pair is actually much better. There is slight missing gaps in the paint on the fake one, but the retail one is much more cleanly done. In terms of the pull tab on the back, normally there is differences here between the shoes. However, on this one, the retail and fake pair are pretty much identical. I would say the fake one is slightly more loose. However, there's really no difference at all. In terms of the Nike Sacai opening at the heel, on the fake one, there is a difference here once again. So if you compare that to the retail one, and I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see that the opening at the back is far bigger on the retail one, comparing that to the fake. Also, you can see on the white part of the sole, it's slightly more chunky and curved, whereas on the retail one, you can see it's very clean all the way around. It's more rounded on the fake one. Around the heel area, you can see this grey leather. On the retail one, you can see it's much better quality. On the replica one, it is very stiff, whereas on the retail one, it's much more tumbled and a softer leather indeed. If we look at the blue part of the sole and how far it actually sticks out, if you compare them side to side, which I'll give you a close-up of, you can see that the retail one sticks out much further than that of the replica one, so that is a clear difference to see. In terms of the laces, there's no difference between the laces. They've gone for the standard white flat lace and then a thinner standard black lace as well. Obviously, the retail one did come with that spare, thicker black lace, but the replica one did not seem to include that, so that is a key difference to note, that maybe they just don't provide that spare lace, or maybe they just forgot. Inside tissue paper, there is a difference here again. The replica one is a darker color and a much thicker paper than that used in the retail one. But if you are wearing the shoe, you're never really going to compare the paper. It's just a slight difference to note. When taking out the insole, obviously the retail one comes with the sticker on top. The replica one did not, but the only difference you can really notice on the insole itself is if you spin it upside down, they do have colored speckles all over the insole, and you can see on the retail one it is much more speckled than that of the fake one, and the speckles are much darker and clearer comparing that to the fake one. Also, if you look towards the forefoot of the insole, and I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see that there is 2 indents on the retail one, whereas on the fake one there is only 1 indent. So this is a clear difference to note, and these both are the same size, I must reiterate. In terms of the sizing tag that occurs on both of these, there's no difference here. There's nothing really to compare. Looking from above, there are shape differences as well. As you can see on the retail one, there's a real curve to the shoe, which I don't really know why they've done this. I haven't tried them on, so I can't tell you how comfy they are, whereas the replica one is very, very straight indeed. So that is quite a clear difference to see from above, but in my opinion, they've actually done a really, really good job with these fakes. For a first batch, these are really not bad indeed. So please be careful if you are trying to buy a retail pair. I did pay resale for these and they did come from StockX, but here is the replica one. And as I've shown you in this video, the differences are still very minor. So please be careful if you are trying to purchase a retail pair. But I really hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for the support. Just hit 15,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for the support. If you could leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.